A few months ago I did a video headline, "Be Selective When Choosing Images for Your PowerPoint Presentations," and I made a few different points in there. I wanted to expand on that. If you did see that prior video, what you heard me talk about was to make sure that you use high quality images, not cartoonish type images, not to use any poorly rendered sketches or artist renderings, and no poorly conceived or low resolution computer generated images. And I also warn that when you go to a stock photo site, such as GettyImages or Corbis, as excellent as they are, oftentimes what you see there are images that are substandard in that they can tend to be a little bit campy. They're obviously staged. There's images with smiling faces, and it becomes kind of obvious that people are posing for the photograph, that not even looking into the camera, but very conscious that the camera's there and a photograph is being taken. Those are not the kind of images that we want. We want something much more candid, something that looks much more genuine, much more authentic. In addition to those points, I wanted to also add, we should select images that either tell a story or that look like there's a story behind the image, so that once we start talking, after the audience has seen the image and they're prepared for us to start talking, the image makes sense to them. It's a jumping off point for whatever the next point is that we have to make during our presentation. And as much as possible, look for unique images, images that are not repetitive with so many other sites, because when you go to stock photo sites and you look at images, you'll find, of course, lots of good images, but as you go out around to different websites, different presentations, even different print advertisements, you will see the same images being used in a lot of those cases. And what we want to do is pick images as much as possible that are fresh, that are unique, that people haven't seen before. The last thing we want is an image to go up there and for a person to think, "Oh yeah, I've seen that one," because it kind of takes away from the impact that we're trying to have with our PowerPoint images. Also, select images with people in them as much as possible. So often, people pick images that are sterile because there are no people in them. Photographs of objects don't tend to really create an emotional connection. People really want to see people. Also, pick images that create continuity. Obviously what we want is continuity between the photograph and what we have to say. But we also want continuity between all of the images that we pick. Now, this doesn't have to be 100%, but we don't want to pick images that are so different from one another that there is no consistency or continuity, that it looks like there were 10 different people who are choosing images rather than one person who was thinking in terms of creating that continuity, or a person who had a particular standard in mind. So we want to make sure that the images have continuity and that they resonate, of course, with what it is that we have to say. Otherwise, it's a bad choice of an image. If the image is there and then we start talking and they don't see the connection. Also think in terms of simplicity and clarity. You want photographs that are not overly busy. And certainly don't make the mistake of using a collage where you take a few different photographs and collect them together on a single screen. People won't know where to look. It doesn't send a straight, clean, simple visual message. So stay away from collages. And what photographs you do pick or what imagery you do pick, whether it's a photo or a artist rendering or what have you want there to be simplicity and clarity. You don't want a busy image because, again, whether it's a single image or a collage, the eye won't know where to look. It will be jumping around. That's not what we want. We want an image where there is a focal point that serves as the dominant component of the image so that people know exactly where to look, what they're looking at. They absorb it and they understand it quickly. And then when we begin our verbal presentation at that point, there's continuity to it all. Bottom line, think carefully about the images you pick for your PowerPoint presentations and be very selective.